Yo, how y'all feeling tonight, man? How y'all feeling tonight? How y'all feeling tonight? Let me say this, man. I just want to know one thing I want to know, man. This is one thing I want to know. I see two types of relationships going on right now, right? Two things going on. Russell Wilson and Sierra. Then you got Jonathan Owens and Simone Biles. But Simone Biles and Jonathan Owens' relationship is getting hated on by the sisterhood heavy, 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 heavy. Do you think that it's because that a lot of our sisters, a lot of our black women out here can relate more to Sierra being a single mother versus Simone Biles, who is not a single mother? Because I saw a lot of smoke for Simone Biles, a lot of criticism. But I haven't seen that same criticism for Sierra and Russell Wilson. It seemed like there's a lot of hate thrown towards the girl Simone Biles' way. What do you think? Do you think it's a bunch of BS? Do you think the sisterhood is picking and choosing? What do you think? Do you think the sisterhood is saying, hey, we like Sierra and we don't like Simone Biles? What do you think? Who are you talking to? Hey, what's up, Deja? I guess I'm talking to you if you're in the building. Well, let me ask you this, if you don't mind me asking you a question. Do you think that sister's been hating on Simone Biles? Do you think they was hating on the girl? What's going on? I want your opinion on it. What do you think? Do you think they hating on her and they not hating on Sierra? Because I see a lot of support from the sisterhood for Sierra, but I don't see that support for Simone Biles. A little bit of a hatred going on, a little bit of hating. What's up? What's going on? Come on now. I'm talking to you now. You don't give me no rap? You don't give me no rap? What do you think? I think there was a lot of hatred going on there. See, was it Helpo? I definitely see the hate towards her. Yeah, do you think now I don't judge of a man looks enough a man, but yo kind of a pretty boy nigga. Do you think that like sisters are kind of like they wanted to get with bro or something like that? Do you think it was on some tip like that? Because I see a lot of hatred for sure. They were getting on her head, getting on this, getting on that, saying she this. Where was the black community when they were shitting on her head? Exactly. It was they had hatred for old girl. But this is the thing. Chanel, this is the thing. This is the thing I got to say. They didn't have that same hatred for Sierra. Do you think sisters can relate more to Sierra? I'm not saying that all black women are single mothers, but we got a lot of single mothers in the community. Do you think they can relate more to Sierra? A lot of sisters can relate more to Sierra than they can relate to Simone Biles. Because I see a lot of love for Sierra, but I mean Simone Biles, man, they was about to just get the pitchforks on her ass, man. They was like, man, they was mad at Shorty, man. It was crazy. What do you think? You know what I'm saying? Let me know. And as y'all come in the room, please hit the like button for me. You know, I really appreciate it. I think it's pretty privileged, and Ciara is a bigger star. So you think they like her more because she's more attractive girl? I mean, that's possible. That's possible. Yeah. And I guess maybe they, to keep it a buck, Russell's a bigger star too. So he's getting like all kinds of millions. He's actually, with 83 million. So, hey, one thing I know about women like the bread. They like that money. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like it was outright hatred, just pure hate? Cause I mean, it's like they was just wishing them bad, man. It was like, yo, he said he's the prize and all this other stuff to Shorty. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was a little rough. Simone is stunning, and she's living her best life. Definitely, definitely. Um, it just seems like people kind of pick their horse to get behind, or pick the person to get behind, and like I'm gonna hate on this person, but I'm gonna show love to this person. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like that's what you're dealing with out here. So what's going on? What else is going on out there? Like what's going on in the news? What's popping out here? Um, I hear the what's it? Marlon Wayans has got something going on with his baby mother, man. I don't want to dump on my man. Marlon Wayans is always made excellent. The Wayans brothers in general make excellent movies and films. I got love for them, man. They funny as hell for real. Yeah, they definitely funny as hell. But what's going on? Let's um, should stay away from all the negative. Yeah, it's gonna be out there. It's gonna be out there. Yeah, every day, everybody these days is so full of hate. Yeah, I keep it a buck. We as black folks, we throw each other under the bus. Like we just be like, man, you ain't gonna shine better than I'ma shine. Like we always trying to throw each other under the bus, and I wish we could work together a lot better. I wish we could like work together a lot better. You know. Let me ask you this: Do you think it's a lot of negativity between men and women these days? Do you think there's a I'm asking you, Chanel, do you think there's a gender war going on right now between black men and black women? What do you think? Too much competition instead of unity. I agree. Do you think there's a gender war going on? Not as much as they try to make it seem. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that's basically what's going on YouTube? But when you go out into the real world, you don't really see the whole men versus women thing, and all that stuff that's going on out here. Like you don't really see it when you hit the streets, like when you out and about or in real life or whatever. It's for views. Yeah. Do you think it's harder in the real world? I don't see it. Do you? I don't know if you're single or not single or in a relationship. Do you think it's harder to meet people nowadays? Do you think dating is harder nowadays with what's going on, like the current climate? everybody says is things are just not where they used to be at, you know. He said, "Men, oh, men approach you all the time, huh? Oh, you must be a baddie, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Men approach you all the time. There's a lot of great guys out there. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I feel it depends on the person. That's King Kozar. Do you think that's are you saying that depends on the person as far as what's in the dating situation is going on out here in 2024? And Chanel says all women are not gold diggers and whores either. I don't fall for that narrative. Well, you know, a man is supposed to be a provider, but you know, it's making money. Making money is not that easy, man. It's not a lot of opportunities. It's and you have to be a someone that puts a battery in your own back. You have to go out there and get it. You have to be a hustler. And I don't mean like hustler drugs, but I mean like hustler. I'm a pick up. Like I used to do hauling people's junk away and stuff. So I would do my 8 hour, my 40 hour, and then I would haul away people's stuff and make a little extra money hauling away junk and trash and take it to the dump for like a couple hundred extra dollars. Okay. My husband died in his sleep of a heart attack in 22. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, I think men are supposed to be providers, but it's a lot going on now. Um, Personally, I think they are really attacking the working man and working woman. They're playing games with us. The rents are too high. You can find like let's say you want to rent a place in a rough part of an urban area in any city that you're in. It costs too much. If you got like robberies and shootings and robbings and muggings and stuff going on, you shouldn't be paying no all this thousands and thousands in rent. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And no one's really speaking up. No one's speaking up for the little guy. It's just ridiculous what they're doing to people. And I don't think it's right, you know. Our politicians, they don't speak up. They don't speak up for the little guy at all. They say they are, but they don't. Everybody that's in here, like, I'm new to this. If you can hit the like button for me, I appreciate you helping me get in the algorithm. You know, anybody that's in the chat, you know, I'm gonna pose that question to you. Do you think that dating in 2024 is better, worse, or the same? Do you think that we're having problems relating to each other, men and women? Is there a gender war? Do you think there's a gender war? Or that's just a bunch of BS. Let me know what you think. Do you think that like Chanel said, it's just for clicks and views, or do you think there is something to it? Do you think it's a little more complicated than that? Let me know in the chat. Let me know. My man, our pain. And let me tell y'all, folks, if y'all don't mind, when you get a chance, check out my guy, R Payne, my buddy, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. And he has this to say: men are providers. However, to think that the average man, black or white, can not do without two incomes. Yeah, it's a lot of everything's more expensive. Everything's more, and then we got inflation that's going on. Yeah, I was, I go in there and I cook my meals. So it's like I go get a pack of chicken, a pack of, and not the big packs. It's just me, what I'm saying? I'm a big guy, but it's just me. And I get a pack of chicken and it's like, you're talking about almost $9 or $10 for like a little pack. You know what I'm saying? So where my groceries will be like, I say 30 to 40, they're like 60 to 80 to 100. And it's like I haven't really got anything. I haven't really bought anything. Okay. Marriage, politics, and sports says relationships are simply a negotiation. Both men and women have to combine incomes to build their future. I agree. Chanel, let me ask you this. Cardi B just said this. Would you go 50-50 with a guy? Would you go 50-50 with a hardworking dude? Okay. Inflation, Chanel says inflation is a lot higher than what they tell the masses too. If eggs double in price, that's 100% inflation, not 6%. That's true. It's well, with the media, you gotta also know that they're gonna report on whatever side they're on. Each channels, like, they have either a liberal a liberal spin or a conservative spin. Um, Fox affiliates are more Republican and different ones, and then other affiliates are more liberal and more Democrat, party aligned. And she says absolutely, because it's still better than handling it alone. Alexandra, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your last name. Main paint is that we as human beings should not inflate as you recline as human beings. We should not lose our values. That's true. That's true. Let me pose this question to everybody in the chat. Do you think a part of what's going on in the dating market is we're losing our values? We're away from the basics. We're away from um, the reasons to get married, family, uh, you know, values, raising kids the right way. Are we getting away from all that stuff? Our pain says, do not call it 50-50. That is a negative connotation. In marriage, it is 100-100. Both have to be willing to make their relationship work. That's true. That's true. It is all 100. That's true. Chanel says, I feel honestly that marriage is a religious thing. If you don't subscribe to religion, why get married? Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Um, if you don't mind me asking, Chanel, would you want to get married again? If you don't mind me asking that question, like, was that something you looking to do in the future? Like, would you want to do that again? My mother was a widow before she passed as well. Chanel says, I would have loved my husband the same with or without being married, but he wanted it. I loved him enough to respect his views. And no. So you feel like it's nobody probably that can replace. Yep, that's what I figured you was gonna say. That it's nobody that can replace your husband. Yeah. And our pain says you don't have to be married in a church. The justice of the peace is just fine. Hmm. So wow. Are people even serious about getting married these days? I see a lot of like polygamy and I saw on the internet. I saw this on YouTube, and I don't know any guy that would sign up for this. Two husbands, two husbands and one woman, and I'm like, that's kind of crazy. It's no way I would want to share my wife with someone else. That's just not nothing that I could sign up for. Our pain says you don't have to be married at all, but your partnership still needs papers. I used to think about that. Before they legalized the gay marriage and stuff, and they had the civil unions. I thought the civil unions and it was civil unions and partnership agreements or something that you could formalize your relationship, share benefits and stuff without being fully married, because men are really like concerned with the risk of just losing everything. I when I went through my divorce, I was really like I had to go to the pantries. I had to get food stamps for a while. It was messed up. I was struggling with it. I was struggling at the time. The family can also be in some kind of commune. Of course, same sex can marry, but can live in a family relation without being married. Same sex marriage is why I can't take religion seriously. Well, a lot of the religions aren't for it. That's more the state, because it was still a baker that she refused to do a cake for a gay couple, and she was fighting not to have to do it for her religious conscience or whatever. Um, so a lot of the religions aren't really for it so much. As I guess it's like certain ones are okay with it, certain ones aren't. But most Christian churches aren't really with it. And Alexander says, if you are in love with a man, would you forbid your love? I don't think so. Chanel says, if you subscribe to Christianity, you definitely should forbid one or the other. Either the religion has to go or your love. You can't be a gay Christian. It's an abomination according to that God. There's still a lot of people that are dealing with those issues now. Like they're not really for gay marriage, and then there's the whole transgenders in the bathrooms, and transgender on the sports teams and stuff, and you know, and the drag queen story hours. They got that stuff going on now, reading the kids, and you know, it's a part of. They're trying to make it a part of curriculums now. Chanel says God's word is God's word. He didn't say to change it to suit your feeling. Suit your feelings. Goodness. I think I kind of think we should get the state out of marriage. I think marriage should be a religious thing. I think it should be with your religion. I'm also I also believe that we should not a man shouldn't lose everything, have the potential to lose everything just because he got married. I think that's wrong. I think, we should have some fairness. I think that's why a lot of men are really scared to get married. because they're scared of losing everything. I mean, I've seen how much some of what you can lose. And thank God I mostly just had to do legal fees. And this the legal fees ate me up. And our pain, marriage, politics, and sports says, Chanel, hello. If you simply want a boyfriend, cool. But if you are monogamous with one man for years, you will need certain rights. Even something as simple as visiting him in the hospital. Partially that's true because I think, if you are not the person that is, dictated, like the hospital, if someone's to get sick or very hurt, they won't talk to you. They won't handle, you can't handle their business. You can't act on their behalf. And Chanel says, I won't let the government force me into anything. It's called POA. That doesn't require, power of attorney. That doesn't require a marriage. Now, I know there are different states with different laws, um, but I think the POA does hold up in most states. You definitely have to talk to a state attorney and make sure that you're covered because if you're not covered, if that day comes, you're gonna have a lot of issues going on, and you never know what may happen. But I definitely think that the state should get out of the marriage business. I think that we should have it as a religious function, just religious. And I think that the courts need to get out of it as well. The marriage rates are going down, the birth rates are going down. The birth rates are going down, and then that's like what's going to happen with the future? Who's going to pay into the system, and who's going to you know, who's really going to take over? Yes, but that's not anything like marriage. And Alexandria. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. Let's make it worse. If you fall in love with a lady that happens to be a transgender woman, would you abandon her but because she has different private parts? Well, that's a whole nother can of worms. Most guys feel like, hey, that makes you go that way if you deal with a person with a person that was born a male. You know, that's a whole nother ball game. Pardon the pun. um, let's see, look how many people get married just because of insurance. Do you think it's pleasing to God if you subscribe to that? Definitely not. I think we should have a lot more freedoms as far as I actually think personally, I think prostitution should be legal as long as it's not done near schools, long as it's consenting adults. That's not along with my Christian um, you know beliefs, but I think if you're doing something and you're a consenting adult and you can give legal consent to something and you agree to it, it's really your business. I don't want to be in anyone's business. Whoever you're sleeping with, whether it's a male or female, or two males or females, or three males, three, whatever it is, I don't really want to know. Like, that's your personal business. It's none of my concern. Just like people don't want to know what I do or whatever. I would suspect that you would know the person is trans way before you fall in love. Well, they can do a lot of stuff. I mean, you know, it's wild out there. It's a video on YouTube where it's a transgender woman talking about she fools guys and tricks guys, which I think is wrong. I think we should have some rights for people like that. I don't think that's right either. I don't think that's fair. If you can passably, if you could pass as a woman and you're trans and you don't tell the person, that person doesn't get consent. That's like I said, consent. Consent. Just like if a woman says, I don't want to have sex, she doesn't give her consent. You cannot go further because she doesn't give her consent. Same thing for a male. If a male says, I don't really want to have sex with a transgender woman or transgender person or whatever, they're not giving their consent. I don't think that's right. I don't think you should be able to lie to people and not give their consent. You know, you say you don't lie, but you don't say the whole truth. I don't think that's right. Now, if now this is the thing. If the person says, "Hey, I'm cool with sleeping with trans or whatever," maybe that's different. But if the person is like vehemently against sleeping with a transgender and you are being dishonest, I don't think that's right. I don't think you should do nobody like that. I think you should try to be honest. I think honesty is the best policy as much as you can. Prostitution is de facto legal already. Folks are openly requesting money on social media. No, the only difference is when they talk about legalizing prostitution, they legalize it for the prostitutes and the escorts and streetwalkers, but they don't legalize it for the johns, for the men that pick up the women. It's another strike against men. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And if you make it legal, you would drive the pimps out of it. The pimps and the people that are abusing women, you would drive them out of the prostitution business, maybe even human trafficking business. I shouldn't say that because I might mess with but you can push those people outside of that business by making it completely legal. But I don't think it should be legal everywhere. Like if I have a nice neighborhood, I don't want to go out and I'm walking with my kid and I see, you know, a John and an escort or something getting it on in the back of a car. I don't want to see that. It should be designated locations that is legal. It's not great, but it's two consenting adults. And I don't think it should be legal for the prostitute and not legal for the buyer. I think that's another bias against men. I don't think that's right. Um, there's no such thing as partial truth. Come on now. Definitely. It's the worst thing on the face of the earth right now. Yeah, I definitely believe you should be able to, only when you can give consent. Um, people lie, and that's part of, but it's prostitution should be legal, agree. I definitely agree with that. But I think it should be fair across the board. I think that it should be legal for the Johns, the buyers of sex, and legal for the sellers of sex. A lot of this that they only push it for one side, and I think also that paternity tests should be mandatory, but of that private and public concerns me. Um, I think there's a lot of laws that can make things. You as a man, would you hang out with a gay man or a lesbian woman? This is the thing. I mean, I keep it a buck with you. I don't think I have, unless it's a gay man that has full traits of like what am I gonna do with him? Like if I hang out with if I go out with my buddy and let's say I'm a single guy and I'm going out to go pick up women, how's the gay man gonna fit with that? Like how's he gonna fit with that if that's something that I participate in? Or if I go, let's say I go to a strip club and I'm not going to a gay strip club because I'm not gay. So where would a gay man fit with me unless we went to a sporting event or something? So that's the only problem. And I'm not saying it as a diss. I'm just saying I just it would not really fit with my lifestyle because unless we have something, unless we have a lot of stuff in common, if they're heavy into sports or something, and maybe that's a possibility, but I really doubt it. There's a lot of I hear there's guys like that that could be masculine too that don't have to be feminine, but more than likely, I just wouldn't have anything in common with a gay dude to be friends with a gay dude. Maybe a lesbian woman. I've seen a lot of lesbian women that hang out with straight guys. They go to the strip clubs with straight guys. I've seen that. I've seen that like firsthand with their crew. I was cool with a lesbian woman that worked with me. Um, but we never hung out enough. But she was cool. She was cool people. Um, exactly. That's why I don't buy that shit with Sharp. You bring his name up, he will appear. It's like, yeah, that looks suspect. Him hanging out with the guy that what do you have in common with this guy that you hanging out with him? It just seems kind of funny. And I thought the purse, that purse he was carrying around, it looked kind, it looked really kind of strange. I, you know, it's really weird. It was really him walking around with that purse. It looked very feminine. But that's his life. That's what he's into. Long as and that he keeps it his business is his business. Um, it's wild. It's yeah. I mean, him hanging out and like that is it's just really a funny thing. So I don't know. They saying Hollywood gets down. Hollywood is very very active in that community. That's what they say. So I don't know if that makes them all that way, but it seems like it's a lot that they're doing out there in Hollywood. But I definitely think the laws need to change. The laws, many black celebrities have sold out to the alphabet community for clout and status in the media. Yeah, if they probably have. Um, it's it's a lot going on. Hollywood definitely has a agenda going on. Um, it's like a desperation to push a lot of this stuff out here. And it's like I'm saying, a lot of the stuff I don't really agree with being pushed out of here to the children, to the kids. I think that's not gonna make you um more liked, your community more like if you're pushing that on kids and pushing it on It just doesn't necessarily have to be like that. I don't agree with them getting abused. To them, it's people that mess with those type of people, and I don't agree with it. I don't think it's right to bully anybody. I don't like bullies. But the thing of it is, pushing it on kids and trying to push it into schools, that isn't a way to make your community more liked. Like you pushing that in to say, hey, this is what we're about. You have to just try to do the right thing. Oh, Disney. Oh, don't get me started on Disney. The upcoming Star Wars series, The Alkalite, is a lesbian love story. Wow. I haven't really been into Star Wars like that, but they're savaging my Marvel characters. They're savaging them. They're like Disney is really like going completely crazy. Um I don't know, I think the MCU is done. I think the only thing we got left is DC Comics and Warner Brothers, because it's just Disney has an agenda they're trying to push, and they're not going to be satisfied until they can push that agenda onto all the kids, all the families and stuff like that. That's what they're about. They're about pushing an agenda. um the X-Men series, all the X-Men, they're gonna botch the X-Men. You trust and believe the X-Men, when they come out with the X-Men, it's probably gonna be messed up. A lot of people don't know that the men from 300 in real life were all gay. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, I heard that in ancient Greece there was a lot of kind of what they claimed that Diddy was doing. It's a lot of that grooming young men, gay type stuff in Greece. I heard. I heard this that in ancient Greece that's what they did a lot. Um, and it was going on a lot in the Roman area, in Rome it was big in Rome too. Or it was big in Rome, you know. Look at Diddy's house. Take that. Take that. Stop. Oh my God. That's crazy. That's where the alpha and beta come from. Wow. Well, I thought Diddy was funny. It's always juicy as hell. I thought Diddy was funny. When they did Making the Band, and they made he made the kids, the people walk for cheesecake at Junior's cheesecake restaurant or whatever in Brooklyn. I always thought when someone uses, when it's a male that uses his position of power to be a bully, you got to watch out for that kind of stuff, because that's a lot of alpha guys. They don't kind of, not even alpha, but straight guys usually don't do that kind of stuff. They may bully in another way, but they don't use their position to like, I'm gonna flex it on you. That's not nothing that I think that's from straight guys. I think a lot of that is, you know, it's feminine energy. You using your position, not to say all women do this, but using your position to bully somebody is more of a feminine position to me. I've seen that a lot from a lot of women, female bosses, gay males. Gay males are definitely can be bullies, and if they get a little position of power. The Cambodian breast milk skit Dave Chappelle told us a lot. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know. It's a lot of. It was disappointing when I heard that about Dig. Like I didn't look to him as like look up to him, but it's like we had all these black people that we have that we can look to and say that they are successful mogul or they're successful. There's always something crazy that comes out about them. Like there's always some kind of craziness that comes out about them. So like Diddy, there's another one. Then there was R. Kelly, and R. Kelly, I was hoping before this happened, he was just a regular R&B dude because the guy was talented. He wrote songs for Celine Dion. He wrote songs for Lady Gaga. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff, and it's unfortunate that he was doing and involved in all that crazy stuff with them girls. Like it's just unfortunate. Um, they always, and then they also, the media, in my eyes, they take any bad actor in the black community and they plaster their face on the big screen, and they always try to show us, especially black men, black women too, but black men in a negative light. And then when you see R. Kelly, when you see Puff Daddy, and you see all these other people, that gives them ammunition to put us into a negative light, and it's unfortunate. I think it's just unfortunate that they do that, and it's unfortunate that we fall into that trap. It's crazy. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, they're gonna point to that and say, hey, we told you about those people, those N words, and that's what they do. They make you not even want to be rich. Well, money is gonna corrupt you a little bit. It's gonna corrupt you. What they say in the Bible said money is the root of all evil. With money, you can get a lot of things done. You can you can have a lot of stuff at your access that you might not would have if you didn't have that money. So it's gonna corrupt you. It corrupts. I think it corrupts everybody to an extent, but it depends on how much it's gonna corrupt you and how much what kind of addictive personality you have. I feel you. Yeah, it's a it's it's a yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. It can bring out what's already inside of you. It can bring out already what's inside of you. But so I try to stay positive and keep prayed up. Pornography corrupts minds as well. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. Yeah. There's a lot where it stems from in a lot of people. Yeah, pornography addiction. But I think we gotten away from God. You know, we've gotten away from Christianity. That's why I think of a lot of stuff. Like you look at OnlyFans, and girls being on OnlyFans and selling their body online. It's like a gateway. Like if you start smoking weed and the weed doesn't hit for you no more, the weed doesn't do anything for you anymore. You gotta buy crack. You gotta get crack now. You gotta get dope. It's like you start off in OnlyFans, you could end up selling your body for real, or selling yourself to the guy. Okay, Chanel says I gotta get going, but it was nice talking to you, and I sub. I appreciate you, Chanel. Check it out, and I do a lot of celebrity stuff and everything. And my man R. Payne says, "Thanks for stopping by. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil, not the money itself. But the money does reveal your character. Definitely, definitely. What would you do? What would you do for it? You know, would you harm somebody for money? Would you steal? Would you delete somebody? And then what do you do when you can get money? What would you make somebody do for the money? You can get things done. You know, those super rich people, they can make films of people getting hurt and stuff and all kinds of stuff. So it's crazy. Well, my man, you need to start doing this. You need to start doing the vertical lives. I'm just trying to catch you, but I don't know if they shadow banned you or something, man. I'm not getting your updates. I haven't been getting your updates for your channel. I try to catch you, but I haven't been getting your updates. I don't know what's going on. But you should try this sometime. You get a lot of views on this. But all pain, I'm about to shut this thing down, man. It's been good rapping to you, everybody. And Chanel, thank you for coming through. Um, everybody, I'm about to shut this thing down. So y'all be peace. Y'all be safe this weekend and be blessed. I'm up out of here.